Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of The Bader Show. I'm your host, Mark Bader. This is episode 472. We are rocking and rolling into the thick of the college season. And I want to bring on one of the college coaches from Rutgers University, head coach Scott Goodale. Is going to be our guest today. Coach, thanks for joining us, man. How are you?
Thanks for having me, Bader. It's good to see you. Always good to talk to you. I'm doing good. Moving right along with the season. Fired up. Big weekend coming up. You know how it is. Middle of the year, middle of the Big Ten grind. So all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys obviously had a big win over Minnesota, kind of a big win for your program in general. And I want to get to that. But as you think about that, I assume that's one of the bigger moments since you've been a coach at Rutgers. But like when you think back from, you took over and the program was not in a good spot, you brought it along and, had good seasons and a lot of, I'm sure, big moments. But can you think back to like some of the big moments? I know you had two national champs, maybe that is, but are there any dual meets or tournaments or spots along your path as head coach at Rutgers where you close your eyes and like this Minnesota win is up there with X, Y, and Z?
Yeah. So it's funny that you asked that because we've been talking about it, and that's a lot of the buzz is it's the biggest moment he's ever had. It's the biggest win in the program's history. There's been a lot of really really good ones, and again because of the win at Minnesota or the win against Minnesota, it all gets brought up. What's the biggest one? And we're sitting out to dinner the other night, and in Jersey they're wrestling fans, so you got fans come up to you from everywhere and interrupt your dinner. They don't care. They want to talk about that match, and that's the biggest moment. And my buddy said, "Yeah, that's his biggest win." I said, "No, I don't know necessarily. It was a big win because it just happened, but we beat Virginia Tech when I think they won the national duels, or maybe they beat Okie State in the national duels, 2011." He goes, "Yeah, but they had guys out." I said, "No, they didn't." He goes, "Yeah, they had a couple guys out." I said, "No, no." I run out to my car, run right back in, open up the bout sheet from 2011. It's the one thing I've ever saved. So we beat when they were third in the country. We beat Virginia Tech, and then I think back when we beat Nebraska when they were fourth. We beat Missouri when they were fifth. When we beat Don Bradley, I think that was 2010. So there's been some really really big duels, really really big moments. Uh, and I think about those duels quite a bit, especially now after a win like Minnesota. But I don't pinpoint one as being the biggest. This just happened. It was huge. Heck, last year against Illinois, they were really, really good and we're happy to win. Friday night was a big moment. They just got done beating Iowa. That probably makes it bigger.
Sure.
But it was a lot of fun in there. The atmosphere was incredible. It's a knowledgeable fan base, so it made for an incredible dual meet. And as you know, I love duels. So it was right up there with one of the bigger ones we've ever had for sure.
All right, yeah, and duels are a big deal, and maybe more important to some teams than other. But fans think they're important. I think they're important. This was clearly an important duel. Let's just jump kind of to this duel, and we'll start with like Jersey Mike's Arena, right? What is set the stage for Jersey Mike's Arena? What it feels like when you guys walk into that arena last weekend when you're taking on Minnesota? The sights, the sounds, the energy.
Yeah, you could tell. Like we practice up in our facility, which is right next door. We get a security guard to bring us down 10 minutes before 6:50 usually. We walk into the back locker room, and then we first take the mat at maybe 6:56, and you could tell there's this certain buzz. Whether they think it's the same old situation, we're not going to beat Minnesota. Whether it's because Minnesota beat Iowa, there just happens to be a little bit more fan prowess there, if that makes sense. There's more people in the seats earlier than if it
Awesome.
was just a regular duel. So you could tell there was a little pop to it. And knowing like we're probably up against it, we're going to need a bunch of upsets to pull this off. But the people are in their seats quicker than they normally are. Heck, even my wife made it before the national anthem. That doesn't happen. So I knew right away that there was a certain buzz about it. But we were going to need to get off to a great start. Whether we were going to win at 25 or not, we better win at 33. We're going to need an upset. Got to win at 49 because we did it last year. So that's one we kind of needed. And then we needed an upset somewhere. And obviously we got it at 25 and got it at 49 and got it at 57. So then you could start feeling the buzz. Oh, heck, this happened. Aiden Smith beating Volk. He beat a world champ. Why can't you do it? Why can't this happen? And you start thinking, you start hearing it. The crowd starts getting into it, but that's the buzz of the crowd early in the duel.
Yeah. All right, and maybe even take a step back, backwards from there, either after weigh-ins or earlier that day or the day before, right? What kind of message do you send to your team, and how? I don't know.
You
Like,
know, it's
do they
I get
change
where
tone
you're
of the
going with
voice?
it. Yeah, I kind of switched it up. I told him I'm not talking to you. Let's go out and party on these guys, is what I said. And I told Sasso, I'm not talking to these guys. They don't need to hear me. They don't need a pep talk. Let's go wrestle. And that's kind of what I said. Let's go party on these guys. Go have fun doing it. 7 of your best 7 minutes you can give. That's all you can ask for. And we're ready. And that's just where we're at in the season. You got an incredible opportunity. Each and every one of you. I think we only had one guy, Dylan Shawver, and maybe Remy on paper that were favorite to win. So just let's go have fun with it. It wasn't your normal pep talk, get back to the center, hustle, get your hands on him, go forward. I said really nothing to him. It was just in jest. And I told Sasso that's kind of what I'm going to do. And he's like, yeah, let's just go wrestle. And we just went and wrestled. It was just, we didn't talk about it. We didn't build it up. We knew we had an opportunity. Usually our talks are Tuesday morning before the practice. Here's the scene. And that's kind of how we went about it. And then nothing more until the match started.
How did you decide to change up their pre-match speech, or just say go party on it? Not
Yeah, you get a vibe. You get the vibe, like they're tired of probably hearing the same old message, right? So I kind of feel like I get that vibe from our guys. I have a really good pulse on it, I think, so to speak. And some guys need something different, and some guys are, maybe they're not locked into it, and some other guys they just stare at you, and it's a good thing. So I've done it before. I don't like to talk to my team after duels. That makes sense because of emotions, whether we win or lose.
sure.
So it's just always been my kind of philosophy. And there's sometimes I give a pep talk, and I remember for years I would always let Donnie have his say too because he'd always like to talk to him. So I think starting last year when Donnie left, I just got into this rhythm of we've already said enough. Let's just go wrestle. And I started talking to him a little bit this year, and then for whatever reason, Friday just totally got away from it. And that's kind of what I said. Let's go party on these guys and just have fun with it. And I don't mean, you know what I mean when I say party. Let's just
Yeah.
go have fun.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure.
that's just kind of my thing, and that's how it worked out.
Could this affect or make you adjust how you go moving forward? Like they don't need to hear anything. Just like
Well, I think our staff does a really good job during the week of match management, scouting tendencies, all that good stuff. So I don't know. I don't know how much a pep talk really works. Are you wrestling's
yeah,
kind of a unique sport? Do you really want to fire someone up? You want to get them into the moment, of course, but I think the best guys in the world, the best guys in the country, are relaxed and already have a plan, and that's kind of why I've gotten away from it, to be honest with you. And again, I don't know why I did it. I just even when I do speak to them before, it's little things, take center mat, go forward, pressure, your 7 minutes, stuff like that. I just didn't think they needed to continue to hear it. And I don't know. We'll see what happens Friday night. I'm sure I'll get a moment with them, but I like where we're at. Let's just continue to wrestle. I think our message has been getting better every day. I know that's really, really boring to hear,
yeah,
but that's the truth. We just got to keep getting better. We got to prep for this Big Ten championship coming up in 3 weeks, and then ultimately the national tournament. So that's kind of our focus.
sure. Um, Trying to ask you to be realistic or honest. Like, or do you go into duels thinking have a confidence level, right? Let's be real. If you guys go to wrestle Penn State, you probably don't think you're going to eke out a win, right? Nobody will, right? But Minnesota's like, okay, yeah, they're good. They just beat Iowa, but like, is this something you were thinking? Yeah, we could do this.
If I told you how I think about dual meets all the time, you'd probably laugh at me. And I don't know
Let's
if
hear
it's the
it.
right thing, but I could be sitting in my backyard July 4th, and I'm thinking about how we're going to match up with this guy. Can we win at this weight? If we win at this weight, can we win it? And you have no idea what the lineups are going to be. And you
Right.
can only imagine now we get closer and closer to match time. Yeah, we need to win here. We might not win here. Maybe we get a major here. I don't know if it's the high school coach in me, but I'm always
Yeah.
thinking about adjustments and where we could get bonus and where we need to stay off our backs. And because I love the dual meet. So yeah, I think about it quite a bit. I knew, you always try to get against these type of opponents. You try to get to 5 and maybe bonus points somewhere take over. Maybe there's a big moment in a match, somebody catches somebody and there's a fall. So yeah, I look at it quite a bit, and it doesn't matter who we wrestle. I kind of look at the matchups, and we need to get here to win a dual meet, and that's just the way I go about it. It's important to me. So
Yeah. As this duel meet gets going, like you said, you got an upset right away at 25.
yeah,
I don't know, and 49 and 57. Was there a point when you were like, at 25, you get an upset. You're like, okay, there's a lot of things still got to go
Yeah.
our way. But by the time you get to 49 or 57, or at what point maybe you're like, bro, this is
Uh,
possible still.
yeah, we didn't do a great job at 41 with managing bonus points. So I thought, okay, a lot still got to happen. And then Andy Clark comes out and wins. I said, something's happening here tonight, boys. I can feel this is happening. And then Tony White in overtime beats Millard, and now it's real. Now it's real. Now we go into the break, and it's real. And I feel really good about our back end. We've been really good the past month wrestling on the back end. Our guys are getting better there, and I just have a feeling, other than 84, where we're really good, they're obviously very good,
Yeah.
but we're in every match and can win every match. So that's my mindset. And again, I'm not putting any anxiety on guys. This is just me and my staff talking, me thinking. Uh, but I started noticing right then and there something special was going to happen after Aiden Smith. Something really special was going to happen after Andy Clark. And then, man, we're going to win this dual meet after Tony White. That's kind of my mindset.
Sure. And college duels, especially on the Big Ten Network, they go to a 10-minute break, right?
Yeah,
Do you guys
12
go in the
minutes.
bat
12 minutes.
12?
Longest 12 minutes of my life. Yeah.
Okay. A
But we
couple
sell a lot
questions.
of beer. We sell a lot of beer at Jersey Mike's Arena, so I get it. You got to do it.
They're pumped up.
Yeah.
Do you normally say much or anything to the team in between? And two, did you this time?
Never. I'm back there with
Never.
65 and 74. Most times they're on the center mat warming up with our coaches, but I
Yeah.
happen to be backstage with 65 and 74, Barbosa and Pinto after their warm up, so I get to spend a little bit more time with them. But it's mostly me running through all the scenarios. Do I want to go down at 165? That's what I'm thinking to myself. And of course, the match, we're down 1-0, so you got to go down, and we end up getting ridden out. So that was a mistake on my part, right? And it's something I thought about all week. And because of where we're at in the match, we put him down anyway, and he got rode pretty hard. So that's kind of what I'm thinking backstage. I'm not really talking to my guys. Again, they've heard enough during the course of the week. That's just my philosophy. Let them get warmed up, ready to go. Let them take center mat, make sure they're prepared.
All right. This next question, there's plenty of debate on this. Momentum. Is it real?
Yeah,
Is it not? Can the environment affect it? Right? Do you believe that momentum? Did you guys have
I
momentum at the
do.
break? And
Yeah, I do. I don't know if momentum carries to Friday night, right? This Friday night.
sure.
I think our guys they've been excited all week, but from match to match in a dual meet, I do. I felt like they fed off of Aiden Smith because of who he beat, right? Because on paper, you're not supposed to win that technically.
Yeah.
So I think they started feeding off that. And then I think, obviously, after Tony White, yeah, I think there's a whole lot of momentum there. And everybody, for the first time in a long time, 10 guys just battled so darn hard. Even when we didn't win, we just battled really, really hard. So I felt like they were feeding off each other and knew this could be a really good opportunity to get a huge win for the program, the university. Our athletic director's there, so there's a lot that goes into it. But I believe the momentum in a dual meet. Again, I don't know if it carries over week to week. I could tell you this week in practice is going to be high energy because everybody's fired up. Wins takes care of that. But again, I don't know if it carries that far. From an individual standpoint, you get in a rhythm of your wrestling good. It could carry for sure, but you still got to work every day. There's a lot that goes into it. But match to match in a dual meet, I'm a true believer. There's momentum there, and you feed off that crowd.
Sure. 184, obviously, Max McInerney is one of the top guys in the country. Gets a solid win, which brings you to 97, the deciding match, essentially. Um, I'm sure it's safe to assume nobody went up to your wrestler and said, "Hey, comes down to you," right? But how did you feel? Give me put me in your position of where your head's at and your emotions are walking in at
Yeah.
197.
So again, I'm a realist, and again, I study it, I follow it, I watch it. I watch these guys all year long. I like to think I do enough scouting. I certainly have watched every one of their duels,
Yeah,
so I know they're really good at heavyweight. I think our heavyweight's really good, and I think that match can go. That's 5-5 if they wrestle 10 times.
yeah,
But it would be really, really nice to close this out at 97. That's my mindset. I've had 2 or 3 duels come down to having to beat Gable Steveson, where it didn't work out, obviously, right? Or beating I'm thinking about Ohio State beating
Yeah.
Feldman or beating Luffman, or it's always seems like it comes down to a heavyweight. So man, it'd be really, really nice to close this thing out at 97. We have a really good guy. This is an even matchup. They have a pretty good guy. Felt good about we could win this match when you're sitting at home doing it on paper. This is one you feel like you could win. So I just wanted to close it out at 97. And they both wrestled a really, I mean, it was 1-1, but it was super exciting. There was flurries and scrambles and inside trips. And Nelson's so dangerous. And Remy just kept his composure, was in on a couple shots. You're like, oh my God, just finish one of these. And even going back to Pinto, at 74, that got squirrely. I thought we really need to win this. Like, just let's do what we're supposed to do, and we're going to win this duel. That's what I'm thinking in the corner, kind of sitting there, putting my hand in my head. That's just me doing my thing. But I knew we need to win at 97. I wanted to end it there. I still feel like we can win at heavyweight, but that was my mindset for sure.
Sure. And we're going to play a clip. I'm sure you've seen this. It was a lot of excitement in that 197 match. Greg, whenever you're ready, we can play it because this is kind of the end here. And
Yeah.
man, this is an exciting scene. Like
Yeah.
that, right? That
Yeah.
says so much. The whole
It's
bench.
just been a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I'm a big emotional guy anyway. I love big wins. It's good to be on the other side of that for sure. Remy's such a great person, so well spoken. He did a great job in the press conference. He's done a good job in some of these podcasts, talking about. There's our athletic director there in the background with her husband, just getting involved. She's from LSU, so she's just really getting into this wrestling stuff. So that's pretty cool. And what a moment for this kid who just does it right, lives the right way, does every little thing the right way. So, yeah, the emotion is, listen, I don't know if this ever changes with dual meets. I don't know if we ever go to a true national duel. I've been dying on this hill. I've been a very, very outspoken about it. I just love that atmosphere. There's about 5,000 people in that arena. 2,500 of them are there for a dual meet, an hour and a half, and they get the heck out of there and they just want a great experience. They're not there for the national tournament. They don't want to be there all day in a gym, but they can relate to rooting for a team and a dual meet. So I just really get into the duels. I love them. Does it mean anything? No, not really. It just we won a duel, and it was great for our program and our university. We got to continue to get better, but those type of moments, and you never know what guy it's going to be. You never know, like how important was Andy Clark and Tony White, and maybe they're not standing on the top of the podium in March, but man, they were a huge part of not only what we did Friday night, but what we did last year with Illinois and so many big duels. They're a huge part of that, and they can't really take that moment away from those guys. So I think about that quite a bit. Dual meets are really important.
Well, yeah, and do they matter? Is a very subjective. Like, do they matter? Do they
Yeah.
points carry to March? No, but do they matter? Did your fans have a great experience? Did maybe recruits see this and are they gonna listen a little bit more when you call or like it does matter in
It
different ways.
matters.
So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter in the sense of crowning the whatever, but it does. They are significant moments in the
We've talked to
sport.
all of our recruits. You're right, and just the atmosphere, wanting to wrestle in that arena. It's the one thing we could really, really sell. We're one of the few schools fortunate to do it in front of 5,000-6,000 every single night. So, yeah, all these clips you're seeing, the clip you just shown, that's going to be sent to our recruits and a lot of the people that follow Rutgers wrestling. And it's no coincidence, right? There's a national following now, which is great. There's a California following now, which is great. We recruit there quite a bit. We got 3 guys on our team from Cali, and that's the only time they really get to see us is moments like that. So, what a great moment for the program and for our athletic department.
Yeah, we got another clip. I would imagine you just see this one, Greg. You're going to play it. This is right after the duel. So I'm guessing you didn't know this was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they do that. Yeah, my wife got me thick of it. But yeah, we get into it, man. We love our guys, and I think they feel the same passion, not just me. I mean, our whole staff is involved in that, and Zach Elam, our resident athlete, Sammy Sasso, our resident athlete, Coach Kiss. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that go into something like this, and you don't see it before, but my mom is a huge wrestling fan. She's been following wrestling for 40, 50 years and hasn't missed a duel, but I get a moment with her before that, and then my wife is on the mat. So they just live and die with this, and It is what it is. I'm sorry she got caught up in that whole Gatorade or water bath, but she was wearing a white T-shirt too. I said, "Whoa, we got to go put something on before we take you out tonight." So we took care of that, and she has a good time with it. She loves our boys. I don't know if she knows much wrestling after 30 years of me doing this, but she loves our guys, and to her, that's the most important thing, to see them happy. It's what it's all about. So it's good that she got an opportunity to spend that, share that moment with the team.
Yeah, you see the coach all the time. I don't know if I've ever seen the coach's wife, get spilled over this. She wasn't too upset. Sure she was
No,
probably happy
no,
to be there, right?
yeah.
Oh
Yeah, she was
man.
happy. Like I said, she's into the duel. She gets behind the bench for every match, every home match. So she lives and dies with the wins and the losses, and that's all part of it. I'm not sure why she even came out to the match. She's really never done that. So obviously a pretty big win. So and they keep going with the water bucket over the head. They got to stop doing that. The thing's ice cold. So it's all good. They were happy. I'm happy. But we got to move on. So we're moving on, but it was a good moment.
Sure. So moving on, great segue here. The Big Ten dual schedule. The Big Ten
Yeah,
dual schedule is crazy, right? I don't know. How do you approach it? Right. Especially like this. You're like, boom, big win. Guess what? Doesn't mean crap. We got one or two more this weekend and behind us and in front of us. Um, what's the key to navigating the dual season? Not from the wins and losses perspective, from at the end being like, okay, I'm still good to go at the end of February,
yeah. I
mentally and
think there's a
physically.
lot that goes. Yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into that, managing the ups and downs, the highs and the lows, and understanding your athletes. There's a couple instances where our guys, like for example, Aiden Smith's really our only 25-pounder on the roster right now. So you got how do we manage? It is hard. It is now he's doing a really good job and has an opportunity to get to 5-3 with a win Friday night. That's pretty darn good for a freshman. But man, there's so many ups and downs and how you manage these guys and it doesn't matter. You lose Friday, get on a bus, drive 4 more hours, and we got somewhere to go Sunday. So you got to have a very short memory. Um, it's a quick turnaround. You got to have resolve. You got to be resilient. You got to be able to fight. You can't feel sorry for yourself. And then the flip side of that is this huge win. You got a huge win on Friday. Nobody cares because you got to run it right back on Sunday, and that guy's licking his chops because now he has an opportunity. So that's just the Big Ten schedule. It's you got to be able to manage it. And I'm not the smartest guy. We win a Big Ten match, then we have an in-state rival rider. That's our weekend off supposedly, and that's not a weekend off because there's so much
Right.
that goes into wrestling rider, right? And we'll go Friday and wrestle Michigan State and come back and wrestle Princeton. There's a lot that goes into that. So I probably got to do a little bit better job with the scheduling, but you got to have a quick turnaround. You got to be able to manage it. You got to know when guys are ready to go. I think of Lenny Pinto right now. We gave Lenny a break in the middle of the Big Ten schedule, based on how he was wrestling, how he was feeling, coming off an injury over Christmas break. Just felt like maybe this is a time to give him a break. He's been in this conference for 4 years, so he kind of gets it. But that was maybe new to him. At the end of the day, you got to get these guys ready for March, and the staff does a really good job of understanding our athletes and knowing when to pick and choose when to go during the course of the week, how to train, how much rest is needed, and how important that rest is. And then I'm not going to bore you with all the nutrition stuff and the sleep stuff, but it's all a part of it. And that's from January till middle of February. And then you got to get yourself ready to go for what I consider one of the best and hardest tournaments in the world.
Big Tens?
Big Tens. Yeah.
Yeah, what a freaking fun tournament. Just
Yeah.
concentration of talent and great wrestling. And yeah, you get to see them all mix it
Starts
up.
10 o'clock that first session, right? On a Saturday morning.
You
10
better be ready to
o'clock,
go.
you better be ready to go. So it's hard.
Cool. Last thing on the Minnesota duel, you said your AD was there. What did your AD say to you afterwards? The night,
She's
the
been
next
all,
day?
yeah, she's come to all of them. She's super supportive. She's backing us in this world of revenue share and third party NIL. I won't get into numbers, but she's
Yeah.
backing us. She's she's all in on wrestling. So that's really really important, and that's good for fans to know. It's good for recruits to know. It's good for our guys to know. But she's into it. Her husband's really into it. They become really big wrestling fans, and I see her looking down at the sheet, and who's coming up next, and we got a big one here, so they kind of get it. They're starting to get it, and I clearly when Jersey Mike's is rocking and there's people there and there's people buying food and buying drinks and buying gear, that makes her happy. So we just got to continue to put out a good product, continue to put people in that building. Looking at that building right now, it's a special place. It's a great wrestling atmosphere, and again, she's coming from LSU. So she's dealt with the highs of the highs, the Heisman Trophy winners, the Livy Dunns, national championship women's hoops. She's dealt with it all, and now she's really wrapping her arms around wrestling, which is pretty cool.
That's fantastic. It feels like you just got the Rutgers, but you've been there for like 15 or 18 years or something.
19.
19. Holy smokes.
19
Okay.
years.
This is my 19th year of Flow. We started at the same time.
Yeah,
Your first year, right? I know you've told the story. I looked up the stands, counted 28 people, 50 people, whatever, over the gym. Think about that and compare it to what happened last weekend. Is this something you were expecting? Yeah, these things are going to happen. When you took over, you're like, we're going to go to the big arena. We're going to fill it. We're going to wrestle a big team and win.
Absolutely. Yeah, I knew we were going to do that. And that's why I took the job. I was going to make sure we did that. And if I did it, I probably wouldn't have been here too long. So I think it was just an effort, grassroots effort from John Leonardis back in the day. Frankie Egger was on our staff, but really Coach Leonardis, him and I kind of got together. We got here together, and it was just getting everybody on board, whether you liked us or not, whether we were going to win or not. You were going to come to a match, and we are going to turn it into an event. And that's kind of what happened. And then from there it becomes, your marketing team and your administration and your alumni and all your donors and all the people that are excited about wrestling. But grassroots effort, your recreation programs, your clubs throughout the state of New Jersey. And we all know if you're from New Jersey, there's a million wrestling clubs, right? Yeah. So you got to get them on board, and everybody's got to be wearing a T-shirt. By year 3, everybody's wearing a T-shirt and a hat. Your custodians are wearing T-shirts and hats. Your cafeteria workers are wearing T-shirts, whether they like Rutgers or not. Rutgers is going to be in your face 24/7. And through that, you lose people, right? They want to see you lose. They're sick of it. They're tired of it. And we've had that, right? There's some fans out there. Heck, you lose a match, same old Goodale. You win a match, they're building a statue. So that's part of it. We've built this together. We've done it together. Everybody who's ever really worked with me understands putting people in the seats is the priority. You got to put out a product where people want to come and watch. You got to put out a product where Monday afternoon at the water cooler, they're talking about the Minnesota match. You need to put out a product every single year where Sunday morning at the local kids tournament, they're talking about, hey, did you see that match last night? That was awesome. That it just has to happen. And it started 19 years ago when we were wrestling at College Ave Gym in front of 22 people. It continues today. Season tickets are a little bit down from what they were a couple years ago. Obviously, when Ashton Suriano won, it went through the roof. We've taken a dip. That doesn't make me happy. We got to somehow figure out a way to get those numbers back up. So something we talk about every day, and I think every staff member that works for me understands that's part of the job. Recruiting, huge part of the job. Development, huge part of the job. Academics, huge part of the job. Fan base, maybe number one. Maybe number one. It's very, very important to make sure people, but you got to put out a great product. And obviously it all works hand in hand, right? You got to have the Jays and the Joes. You got to have the best guys in the country they want to watch. So it all goes hand in hand, but that is an absolute priority. And it goes on all year long. Like people laugh when I bring up July 4th. I'm thinking about duels. I'm thinking about the fan base. How can we get more season ticket holders? How can we get more people to the matches? So it's a pretty important part of the program.
Well, I can tell you, you just keep doing what you did last weekend. That will fill the stands, have excitement. I mean, I know there's a lot more to it, but those kind of things keep happening, and obviously, they're gonna fill the seats. Okay, I know you have somewhere to be shortly. I got a couple quick games I like to play at the end of these shows.
Sure.
First one's called Sweat It Out. And this is 5 questions. I'm trying to make you sweat. A little trivia here. I'm going to test your knowledge, all right? You ready? You sweating already?
Yeah.
All right, good. Coach Goodale, the famous Jersey Mike's Arena. What 2 other names was Jersey Mike's Arena called?
the Lewis Brown Athletic Center, and the Rack.
He's good. I thought maybe Lewis Brown Athletic Center would get you, but it didn't. Okay, you got it. The Lewis Brown. Okay, this one states New Jersey, Pennsylvania, right next to each other. Which
Oh
state
boy.
has a higher population? Which state has more people?
Oh man, I feel like if I don't get this right, am I dumb? Is this a trick question? I know we're so small. I'm going to say Pennsylvania.
2 for 2. Pennsylvania, 13
Oh,
million. New
big
Jersey,
state.
9.5.
Big state.
Big state. Big state. All right. Question number 3. We're talking Big Ten schools. What Big Ten school is closest to Rutgers? Physically, distance-wise.
Distance-wise, this obviously it's Penn State or Maryland. I'm going to say 2.5 hours to get to Maryland, 4 to get to Penn State. I'm going to say Maryland.
Okay, I need to make these tougher. You're 3 for 3 here. Okay, 3 for 3. Yeah, moving on. Okay. I feel like you're gonna know this one too. Need to make them tougher. That's all right. Prior to being known as Rutgers, what was the school called?
Oh man,
Okay,
I think you got me here. I want to say, hold on, this isn't my final answer. The College of New Jersey. How about this? The New Jersey State University. That's wrong. I mean, what is the year they changed the name?
It's a long time ago. It was actually called this first thing. Then it was called Rutgers College.
Queens,
Then it was called
Rutgers
Queens.
College.
He got it. No, you said it.
Queens.
Queens.
I should know that.
Long way
Ashley
around.
Suriano, we got an opportunity to ring the bell at Old Queens. And when you
really?
ring the bell, it echoes throughout the whole university. But I thought there was, I should kind of know that. Old Queens, I'm going to get killed for not knowing that.
Well,
That's okay.
this was like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You kind of talked yourself into it.
Yeah.
You got there.
Yeah.
4 for 4. I've done this. I don't know if we've had a 5 for 5 before. I think you're going to get this one. In 2019, Anthony Ashnault beat Caden Gefeller in a dual meet. Ashnault won the match, but lost a team point for what? Why did he
Pulling
lose
out
a
the
team point?
pistols and shooting them down.
You got it. Greg, you got that clip?
He shot him down. Anthony shot him down. Why are we doing stupid though?
Oh, it's great. 5 for 5. I think that's the first 5 for 5. That was a fun one too. Why are we doing
Yeah, that was
stuff?
a good duel. There was about 8,000 there that night. And I think that was the first fixed Suriano that went for like 25 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And ultimately, hands to the face.
Oh, that was.
Yeah, I forgot I was mic'd up. But Anthony did. He shot him down, and that was a team point. I think they lost a team point too because he
did.
pushed.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Well, you didn't say anything stupid. It was like a great moment with the mic'd up. All right. Next one. This is think back to your own wrestling career. I call this one wins and whoopins. One win from your entire career, anytime, kids club through college through whatever, a win that stands out as memorable, and a loss where you really just got your ass kicked. And you can do either one first. One win, one loss.
Yeah, I'll give you the win was for. I'll give you wins easy, right? Beating Glenn Pritzloff at Rec Hall, Lock Haven, first time ever. We beat Penn State. We're both Jersey Shore guys. We worked out together over Christmas break. I got lucky that night. I won. We won. It was an unbelievable night for Lock Haven Wrestling. That's easy. That's the win. The loss, sweet. Probably Pat Smith. He rode me for about 4 minutes and put my arm on my back in a single wrist and beat the crap out of him. Never turned me, but just physically beat me up. I think that was maybe the first and only time I've been majored by Pat Smith. It was pretty bad. Matt Town final. And then I wrestled Matt Demaray from Wisconsin too, majored me. Those two were 10-2 maybe it was, but I was never close to scoring. I was young against Demaray. I was not young against Pat Smith. I think it was my junior year. He would go on to win his 4th title that year. But he put it on me pretty good. I think maybe 15-5 and just rode me really, really hard. Hard. So
those are tough to take when you're, you think you're a pretty good wrestler, then somebody just beats the
Yeah.
crap out of you. It's tough. Okay, and here one more. This is really easy. Maybe the concept's easy. All-time favorite, Scott. Who's your all-time favorite wrestler? You got to pick one.
From Rutgers?
No, worldwide.
Oh,
Or we could do both. We
okay.
could do Rutgers if you want. That'd be a fun one. But I'm just
Let's
thinking,
stay,
however you want to do
yeah.
it. Answer how you want.
I'll stay away from Rutgers because there's so many, and obviously,
That's what I thought.
yeah, I'll stay away from that because that's fair. My all-time favorite wrestler, man, I love those days when I was young and kind of growing up, and those Iowa teams were so darn good. And I remember Rico Chiapparelli, watching him when I was little. That era, man, Nate Carr was really good. Monday, Schultz, I loved watching Schultz. I'm giving you all the Americans right now, so
Yeah.
you really can't go wrong with one of them. I liked Kendall Cross. I would say if I had to pick one, gun to my head, Rico Chiapparelli. I really liked watching him wrestle.
Rico Chiapparelli was fun, kind of outside the box, kind of like
Yeah,
unique style.
yeah.
Before that was maybe more
A
the
thing.
norm. Yeah. Okay. All right. I got one more. This is a new one little game. It's called One Word. I say something, you say one word to describe. It doesn't have to be the first thing that pops into mind, but it can be, but just one word. Right? First one. Jersey Mike's Arena.
Loud.
New Jersey High School Wrestling.
Fanatical. Out of control.
Anthony Ashnault.
Awesome. Just, I can't do that in one word. Awesome.
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 That's fair. Screwy Louis Lazari.
Encyclopedia.
All right.
If I ever need something answered, that's the guy.
All right. Super Bowl 60.
Boring.
Boring. Yeah, I'm with you. That's all I got. I should have had a couple more good ones, but this is, it's a work in progress there, this first word. Or one, I guess we're calling it. And really that's most of what I had, to come over. It was just a phenomenal event for you guys. And just that one clip of your bench and the stands going nuts. It's just like, you need to see about 3 seconds of that to paint a picture of kind of how it felt in there. So I think that was really awesome. And we want to leave you with the last word. Any parting thoughts, Scott, before we get out of here?
I just appreciate you having me on. It was a huge moment. I'm glad I got a chance to I've never really sat down and thought about the duel, and this is an opportunity to talk about it and kind of what was going through my mind. And I just think moments like that in wrestling, you're starting to see them all over the country more and more. People are getting into these matches and they mean a lot. And if you're ever trying to, and I don't know if this is a word to other coaches out there, just put the time in to put people in the stands. Too many programs get put on a block where their programs aren't in this day and age of making money and revenue and bringing people, eyes on the sport. I just think those are moments that, and listen, Minnesota's had a bunch of those moments. They've had a bunch of those moments. It's good to be on that side of it for once, after so many of them came down to heavyweight. But so I just think wrestling needs more of those moments. They need to be showcased. You allowed me to do that today. Hopefully there's more in our future. But those are special times. They always will be in that building, that arena right across the way there. But just thanks for having me. It's been a long time, 19 years. You and I have been together doing this.
Yeah.
So, so it's been fun, and wake up tomorrow, we'll do it again. But most importantly, we'll get ready for Friday night because that's the next thing on the calendar.
Excellent. Awesome. I wish you best on Friday. Then when you come back on Sunday and Big Tens, Nationals, and everything else. Coach, thanks for joining us today, and keep kicking some butt.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you having me.
All right. You bet, Scott. Thank you. All right, folks, that's going to do it. Head coach Scott Goodale at Rutgers University. Big win over Minnesota, the first win in program history this weekend. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.